All right, here we go. Sports Bet Betting Insight today. Pauly and Teddy, Wednesday, September 12th. Big game breakdown. 3 football games to get to. A good one. 2 good games tomorrow with the Ravens and the Bengals, and also a game that's been moved up, BC and Wake. And we'll get to Memphis playing on Friday as well. So we'll go rapid fire with those coming up and the play of the day. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. By the way, I'm at Real Sportsbet on Twitter. He's at Teddy_covers all the betting news you need to know in less than 20 minutes. Some vicious beats. Game 2 of a doubleheader. The Phillies minus 140. 6-3 in the ninth. The bullpen blows it. They lose 7-6 in 10. They get swept in the doubleheader. That's all she wrote. Now 6.5 games behind Atlanta, who won again.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies have played like a young team over the course of the last month plus. Bullpen meltdown yesterday. You're against a miserable team like the Mets. When you got a 6-3 lead in the ninth, you're in a pennant race. You got to win those games. If you don't, bye-bye. Tough beat. Brutal beat if you had Philadelphia last night. No question.
Yeah, the Nats got them in that one. The Mets and the Marlins under 6.5. It was 3-1 in the ninth. This was brutal. 3-1 in the ninth. The Marlins get 2, and then 5-1, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, nobody on, a walk, and then a home run. 5-3 final. It goes over. In the loss, DeGrom, 3 hits, 2 runs, takes the loss, a 1.71 ERA, 8-9 on the season. He extends his record, 26 consecutive starts, 3 earned runs or less.
Yeah, and a couple of tough pushes last night as well. Astros, Tigers over 9. I mean, don't say, what's a tough push? This is a tough push, okay? You got the over 9. It's 5-4 in the bottom of the 4th, and it's 5-4 final. That's a tough push, flat out.
Yeah.
You can't call it a bad beat because you don't lose your money, but you're supposed to win money in that game, and you didn't. Same story. Red Sox, Jays under 9. It's 2-0, bottom of the 7th. Final score, 7-2. You don't lose your money, but that's a bet you're supposed to catch. Just like the Phillies were supposed to beat the Nationals. Thank you. Last night. Those are the ones that when you don't cash, it feels like a bad beat, even though it's only a bad push. Still, no fun if you had Tigers over or Red Sox under last night.
Yeah, that was brutal. It's bad for the books. I can't believe this. The Red Sox took a lot of money. I don't know in Vegas if they were putting the public steaming them up, but 310 up to 360 because Sale, and this was the plan, Sale went 1 inning. He starts, goes 1 inning, Workman the second, then they go to Evaldi, and they're down 2-0 in the 7th, but the Blue Jays bullpen blows it, so a big move there, and they cover the run line. They clinch a playoff spot. And the Indians, plus 112 up to 130. Justin Bieber with the game of his life. My God, I can't believe it. 11 strikeouts and 6 2/3. So Bieber beats us, our first loser in 3 weeks. Rays shut out at home. Glasnow pitched well. 12-game home winning streak done.
Yeah, and Glasnow's been, in many sense, he's been a hard luck pitcher for Tampa because they haven't been winning for him. And again, the game stayed under the total with room to spare because Bieber was mowing everybody down. Indians bullpen behind him gets the job done as well. You can't win if you don't score, Pauly. We had the Rays. They didn't score, even though they only give up 2. That wasn't enough. Play of the day loser with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, a couple tidbits on ROI in baseball. The Red Sox have 99 wins, and they're number 2 in ROI because of the A's are like 33 games over since the middle of June. They're number 1 in ROI, and the Dodgers lost again. They're 0-6 this year against the Reds. The Kansas City Royals have 95 losses, but it's the Dodgers who have the second worst ROI. Of course, you got the Orioles number 1 down 53 units as they have 103 losses, but the Dodgers, who are 10 games over 500 and still in the playoff race, that tells you that they've taken money again today. Lose some. Tigers plus 230 down to 165. They get beat. And the Mariners took money. Another listless performance. They can't hit. They're 0-3 this year against the Padres. They lose at home 2-1. That should do it now. The A's with an 8.5 game lead for that second wild card over the Rays and the Mariners.
Yeah, and when we talk about big moves in baseball in September, we're not talking about public money. All right, the public is, those have been betting baseball all summer, still betting baseball, but it's not like there's a groundswell of baseball action that all of a sudden comes into play when September rolls around. You see that in October, not necessarily September. So when we're talking about the Red Sox getting bet up to minus 360, that's wise guy money. The Mariners getting up to minus 2.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
Oh, yeah, that's sharp money on
He was
Boston.
pitching 1 inning. Sale through 1 inning. Every sharp guy I knew was taking the Blue Jays.
Well, there. It's not about which sharp guys you talk to, Paulie. It's about what did the broader market do. There's not a 50-cent move on an MLB game in September based on the public's kind of what
I don't
the
agree with
public
you.
like. That
No,
just
the
doesn't happen.
Dodgers take money every game. That's public money.
That's
No way.
syndicate money. It's not public money. It's not the same
I don't
thing.
agree.
Okay.
No way. I don't agree. The public loves the Dodgers in this town, and they were laying 380, 390 in games at Square Shops last year, no matter who was pitching when they were going through
I'm
that
not
run.
disagreeing with you. Even though I'm cutting you off and I am disagreeing with you. I understand the public's betting them. The issue is, how is this line moving? The line is moving 50 cents based on a syndicate that is getting down $100,000 in a bunch of different books on this game, not bettors who are chucking in $20 and $50 and $100 bets. It just doesn't work that way, Paul.
That's an asinine bet. I think if you're laying 360 with Evaldi against the Blue Jays or with Workman, that's crazy. That's an absolute. That's one of the worst bets I've ever seen, even though it won. All right, weather impact. We got the hurricane. It's going to wreak havoc with wind totals and totals in the games. Second straight year, tough beat for Central Florida. They were supposed to play Georgia Tech last year. That was canceled. Their game against North Carolina was canceled. A monster matchup, West Virginia and NC State's been canceled. East Carolina and Virginia Tech has been canceled. Norfolk State and Liberty was postponed. That was moved to December 1st, still being monitored. Marshall, South Carolina, Georgia Southern Clemson, and Old Dominion Charlotte.
Sure, and there's more than that, of course, but let's start with this. It's an old Wall Street thing that back in the day. You buy on the rumor, you sell on the news. When it comes to betting weather, we're going to talk about all these totals that have already moved and moved and moved and moved. If you want to be betting weather and getting the best of these numbers, you got to be betting on Monday, flat out. You got to be looking at the advanced weather report, and there will be situations like this in September and October. And then November, December, you have the blizzards and the winter storms that come in and send these totals flying down. If you're looking at the weather on Monday, you're going to be able to, quote unquote, bet the rumor. And then when the news comes, obviously later in the week, because look at these totals. I mean, the Temple, Maryland total steamed under 54 down to 45. Now they're starting to bet it back up. It's back up to 48.5. You talked about ODU Charlotte. That got bet 48 down to 40. Southern Miss App State, 51 down to 46. Clemson, Georgia Southern, 49 down to 44.5. Of course, the Tigers are 33-point favorites in that game. No parlays on that one. The South Carolina bet down, Marshall, 51.5 down to 45. Now we're already seeing some buyback on some of these. That's back up to 46.5. So those who got down early get great numbers. Those who come after the fact, you're not getting good numbers, and you're actually seeing some buyback the other way after the significant total move. One more worth talking about, Ohio, Virginia. That game got moved to Nashville, Vanderbilt Stadium in Nashville. It's a long way from Charlottesville. The total was bet down from 49 down to 41. And then after they were announced that it wasn't going to be in Nashville, total back up to 52. So that's a game with a really wild move. And of course, Virginia's home field no longer exists. The market's recognizing that. The Cavs now only 3-point chalk. Earlier in the week, they were as high as 7. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.